I'm not entirely sure if it's known as Disney Extreme Digital. That's just a name that was speculated to be the meaning of Disney XD. I was actually just surprised to find that Disney XD doesn't show any promos for Disney Channel content, even though Disney Channel, when Disney XD first started, did a bunch of promotions for Disney XD, but it's probably because it was a new channel. Like Toon Disney, it still showed old Disney Channel animation. They also started showing a lot of old Disney Channel sitcoms and Disney Channel content in general. Phineas and Ferb, Corey in the House, Zack and Cody / Sweet Life on Deck, Gravity Falls. The difference between my experience with Jetix and Disney XD's, I was fairly young whenever Jetix started, so I didn't get to see his entire evolution. But I have seen Disney XD transform from what it was to what it is now. And there seems to be two different versions of Disney XD. The early Disney XD was closer to what I described in the first episode of this series. The one with the graffiti and skateboarders and the advertising channel was still figuring itself out. Most of the early Disney XD shows were high concept or just strange ideas. A boy who finds out that the villains in his games are real. He then becomes a superhero. A little boy who tries to expose his alien cat. And a simple show about two skateboarders with a very strange sense of humor, with Cookie from Ned's Declassified slapping his butt every episode. Disney XD has diversified its content. They have an anime block show Pokemon, Beyblade Burst, Yokai Watch. Also, due to the rise of popularity of the MCU, Disney wanted to capitalize on this, so they decided to make a bunch of animated shows that would line up with the films. Specifically, Avengers Assemble, the Spider-Man show, and the Guardians of the Galaxy show. Hulk's Agents of Smash was the thing at some point. I don't know if that's still going. And a lot of the older Marvel cartoons from the early Disney XD were replaced with newer versions. Also, Disney XD has this new interesting thing called DXP. Disney XD has this really large push for video game content, or at least a large push in comparison to the other channels. And so DXP is a entire block based around gaming series. And I didn't really notice this because I had stopped watching Disney XD for a while, and then I came back, and then there's a bunch of YouTubers, actual YouTubers like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, but they're on this show called Parker's Plays, and it just shows different clips from each one of their content. And they have to bleep it out, which is hilarious because so many of those YouTubers are popular because they just curse in their, their content. And then, now it's on Disney, so it's just a bunch of bleeps. But you know what? Whatever gets people to watch. Some classics in my opinion, are The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Crash and Bernstein, I'm in the Band, Kicking It, Lab Rats, and Mighty Med. And the newer age of Disney XD has shows like the new DuckTales show, Walk the Prank, which is an interesting little prank show, Mech X4, which I think is a really good show and needs a lot more attention, Owl House, which I haven't seen much of, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, which a lot of my friends a lot of friends I know who've watched it really like. Big Hero 6, the series, I haven't watched that. I'm not really that interested. And Parker's Plays, which is what I mentioned earlier. Also, out of all the channels I've been talking about in the series, Disney XD is also the only one that's actually produced their own original films or movies for their channel. There's only two, at least as far as I was able to find, and I've seen one of them. Skyrunners, which is starring Kelly Blatz and some other guy, and it's about the two brothers fighting an alien spaceship, and then the younger brother goes through puberty because of the spaceship. That was weird. And it's not a lot of movies, but some is more than none.